Well, massive news indeed when it comes to the OnePlus Z. We got the leak earlier this week about the launch date for the OnePlus Z from MaxJ on Twitter, supposedly July for this phone. The OnePlus Z has a lot of interest because it's going back to the roots of what OnePlus are, which is a more affordable phone, a powerful phone with a decent design, everything in the right place, but not going all out and spending the money on some really higher-end components that not everybody needs. So since these rumors of the OnePlus Z, or back then the OnePlus Lite as it was known, came out, there was the assumption that they might be using a different sort of chipset for the phone, a MediaTek chipset, actually the MediaTek Dimensity 1000. This would definitely have been a different move for OnePlus because they usually just use Snapdragon chipsets and usually just use the top-end flagship chipsets from Snapdragon, but the Dimensity 1000 has a lot of benefits. This is a new chipset from MediaTek. It's really powerful whilst being cheaper, which really fit the bill for the OnePlus Z. It actually isn't too far off the performance in terms of benchmarks anyway from the Snapdragon 865. It's a little bit below that, but it is certainly more powerful than other chipsets or other mid-range chipsets whilst keeping the price lower. But in any case, over the last few days, there have been some posts on Twitter definitely saying, well, people weren't sure whether the Dimensity 1000 was actually going to be used. And well, we've got some more information today. So this is again from MaxJ on Twitter, who's a pretty reliable OnePlus leaker, and he has again posted a picture to back up his leak. He gave us the July launch date leaks, and now he's giving us the chipsets leaks. It's not a Dimensity 1000 apparently, but it is a Snapdragon 765G. If true, this means, well, it means a few things, and I guess some people will be pleased and some people may be disappointed. So first of all, the Snapdragon 765G is the very best mid-range chipset from Snapdragon. It is one below the Snapdragon 865. It's a very capable chipset, of course. It has integrated 5G. It is a good performing chipset. However, the Dimensity 1000 is more powerful than the Snapdragon 765G. In terms of those benchmarks, in terms of the CPU, it gets a higher score in benchmarks like Antutu than the Snapdragon chipset. However, there are drawbacks to MediaTek chipsets overall in certain areas, and most people would agree that in terms of image processing, Snapdragon chipsets are maybe a little bit better overall on a pound-to-pound basis. MaxJ also followed on that tweet saying that actually the Dimensity 1000 may have been in the plans of OnePlus, but they may have changed it or just decided not to go with the Dimensity 1000. The parent company Oppo has already put out some phones with that chipset with 5G, and I'm guessing they didn't go down too well, and so OnePlus have maybe just decided, hey, we're going to use the Snapdragon. It's a brand that everyone knows. Using the Snapdragon chipset also keeps it in the family. You know that if you're buying the more expensive phones in OnePlus, you're getting the premium chipset. If you're buying the OnePlus Z, it's a mid-range phone, and you get the mid-range chipset within the same family of chipsets. Even though Snapdragon is well known, it opens up OnePlus to a lot more competition in terms of phones and prices. Whereas I'm sure a lot of people were looking maybe at the Dimensity 1000 and thinking, hey, if it's a good price and a powerful chipset, it might have been an interesting phone. Let me know what you think about OnePlus using the Snapdragon 765G. Probably now we can be pretty confident about this. Would you have preferred a Dimensity, or is Snapdragon the way to go? Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.